Just like a zombie that can't keep getting back up. We're back with Excellencies of Valorant Phantom Cup. This is week number 2. My name is Golden Falcon, joined by me, Sparky Gamer Dog. What's going on, Sparky?
I am so excited for these games here, Anton. It is our second day of the Phantom series, and man, we have a good one for today. It's going to be Valkyrie versus Lotus. Now, both of these teams actually have met before in a previous tournament for XLNC, and in that tournament, Lotus 2-0'd Valkyrie. Show up Lotus in these games.
Definitely, and that was in the quarterfinals as well. So there's a lot of footage going around of Lotus, if I'm correct. Yeah, these they played, of course, in the semis, and that's some stuff that Valkyrie can go back and study, right? Because back then there's a lot of time between the tournament and now getting knocked out that early. It's really just a learning experience. Like you're taking nothing away from that. There's no prize money or anything. It's just you go back, you look at the VODs, and you find out what you did wrong. You come back into this stronger and looking to take the revenge. We'll see how well it can do, because if I'm correct, one of the teams actually had to bring in a last-minute sub. And according to Rule 1H, Section 1H of the Rulebook of Excellency's Phantom Cup, if you were that late in getting a substitute, you have to forfeit all your map picks. So right now, one team, Valkyrie, they're in the unlucky spot, so no map picks for them. Lotus selected Ascent, Icebox, and Breeze. All three maps, if we have to go through the third, will be on Breeze, but for now, Ascent and Icebox are guaranteed. Valkyrie happens to pick Attack on every single map. That's going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see them pick Attack on every single map. We should be getting to Aiden Select very shortly, but being on Attack every single map makes me seem like they really have their strategies down pat when it comes to their executes and really making sure that they can get onto the sites and get that lead early. We are an Agent Select here. Now is going to be Ascent, and with Valkyrie starting off on the attacking side, Lotus not really spending too much time waiting for their picks to go through. Pretty standard so far. Otter on that Sova, just the most staple pick, I will say, of Ascent, considering so many of these walls that are built up are wall bangable, and that means that as long as you have the info through the walls, you should be able to take them out with like an Odin or a Guardian or something.
Ooh, this is kind of like a patch 2 point something lineup, because we have the Astra, there's solo smoker, there's no Viper or anything. It's literally just that one astral plane. And for Barbatos, he's got the Omen, which is quite early on. I mean, he's the staple that we've always seen, right? The default smoker. He's got Paranoia, he's got 2 rechargeable, the biggest smokes in the game. Like they're super valuable. So standard stuff from both teams. The Sentinel is the one thing that really differs in terms of their general lineup, and that's the Killjoy for one end. Kalazi picks the Cypher, which still makes sense. I think both of them are pretty valuable. I think a lot of teams do opt for the Killjoy because she does have that massive zoning potential on either like switch, technically on both sites, whether you want to close the door on A or close the door on Market. It's just complete nice.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see the Sentinel battle. I personally like Cypher just a little bit more in general, get more of that information gathering going, especially with the comp that Lotus have built up. You know, you have the Sova, you have the Sky, you have the Cypher. They should be knowing every single place that Valkyrie are going and be able to stack those sites, make sure that they're not caught off guard and get the kills for their team. Make sure that Valkyrie can't entry onto the sites.
Yeah, and it even leaves options too, right? You say stack a site, and that's definitely possible, but you don't even have to. You can technically just leave the Cypher somewhere, perhaps put a cam, and I guess that does lead into what you say. Yeah, they're stacking the opposite site likely, and if they get the information, like they've got so many tools in order to do just that. So they're going to be looking extremely pretty on their defense, especially because Valkyrie, they're all stacked up 5 outside of A site right now, or excuse me, 5 outside of B.
Yeah, they're probably looking to just rush this down. Pretty understandable on a pistol round. They get pretty scrappy. And with, you know, the sky flashes to entry onto the site, it's really just going to be up to whether or not those flashes hit and whether or not, you know, this tripwire can prevent any sort of push from going through.
That's the dog in. I mean, information for both teams, and one of the trips already gets burned. Dog's gonna get shot, so no one's gonna get stunned, but Barbatos, he just goes right in, takes out Kalazi. There is a trade, but it's quickly on the spike site that Valkyrie goes.
Yeah, now it's the retake setup. 3 people strong for the side of Lotus, and they've retained control for most of the site. Everyone on Valkyrie is currently trapped on the B site, but the crossfires are being set up.
They're trying to get back in through that lane. Flash going through, but the jump peek is good from Barbatos. It's back and forth. The kills go, but all of a sudden, green left live. Lotus only has a 1 member coming back in through that highway, and it doesn't work out. Headshot through the wall. The kills go through for Valkyrie.
Yeah, Lotus there caught a little bit off guard on that B site, playing a little bit too front forward, getting, just 5 people pushed down. The sheer aggression really outnumbered them, and then the crossfire set up for that retake just really put the nail in the coffin there. 1 round going over to Valkyrie. Looks like they want to double dip, head back towards this B site. Hey, it worked on our pistol round. Now that we have our Spectres, and with Barbados buying up to that Phantom, actually going to give it over to Devin. They still should be able to take this B site by storm.
And they're going with the same thing, right? Smoke straight away. Both the extremities smoked out. They have the dog going through. There's no trip this time. They can go right in. There are better weapons on the side of the attack. The dart's not going to see anyone on the site, so likely going to be reading that Otter is in the forward position, but they're not clearing the site just yet. It's just fine. Glazzy gets 1, but the spike is going to get planted. There's a flank quite fast. 1 player from the defense going through What? Okay. Sure. Why the turret took a while, but yeah, this should be decently clean for the side of Valkyrie.
I actually kind of want to see here Lotus, instead of actually entering and trying to get these guns off, just keep the people on the site, get the spike to go off, make sure these guns don't escape the spike explosion.
The thing is, maybe the attackers are actually helping that out, because 1 gets a kill, but they're preventing these players from pushing on the lane, so a bit of delay might work in tandem for the defense's goals. But yeah, Rose is staying here. Doesn't want to push. The flash goes through. He does get blinded, but these attackers have to try and start making their way out. There is a kill. A nice ult point for Crazy Roy. And in return, he gets another. But yes, Cappy does manage to finish that frag. And there is 1 Phantom actually saved by crits. That's a pretty valuable investment coming into this round, being taken over from Lotus's side.
Yeah, great damage control there by Lotus, able to make sure they just get a lot of guns off and actually make sure crits can keep that Phantom to the next round. That's the risky thing about buying a Phantom on second round, Anton, is that it's a gun that can be easily saved over. That's econ damage being done, and with 3 frags given over, economy isn't looking too good for Valkyrie here as they head over towards this A site. Looks like they still want to play into this bonus, actually buying up just a little bit towards the end, but they're running in to full on rifles, although the only person still on the A side right now is that Astra.
It's interesting that Barbados is taking that Guardian. There's not even anyone looking at mid, which is a problem because there's a flank already coming. You said before, right? Before the game even started, that they're going to have this information gathered. Yeah, there are 2 people maybe curious about that mid position. Dog is going to go through. Actually see nothing, so this is quite curious. These defenders have no idea where any of these attackers are. I mean, they've pushed all the way out of B, so they have to understand that the rest of them are up top. Cat, and they do end up seeing 4. A dink on the crits. He wants to go back, doesn't want to lose his life for nothing. Send a blind up for his teammates and maybe take some favorable fights, but damage exchange, no kills in return.
Yeah, and that's a lot of info given over, right? You saw 4 people towards Catwalk. You know that that's where the heavy push is going towards, and you can see the rotations already towards that A site. Now, Valkyrie kind of reading into this, heading towards that B, going through spawn to not give over the information. But again, it seems like Lotus are ready for this. They rotated back over. They have the Sova on site, 1 holding down market. Unless Valkyrie go too fast and maybe catch the Sova on site, it should be a pretty easy hold for Lotus here.
Oh, this camp too. This should be a free spray, but in return, Ramen actually sprays back into the smoke. Otter still on the site, able to hold for just 1 though. He gets traded very quickly. A myth still existing, and well, he's got a teammate with him as well. 1 player left on attack. Ramen's got a single kill, but a myth is able to clean up with that right click and a quad kill for the Jet on the defense. Lotus secures their first.
Yeah, great by Lotus there, and I think Valkyrie kind of played into Lotus just a little bit. They take it slow, and then they're able to get the information by Lotus to make sure they have so many people on this B site just to spray everyone down, as you can see Umith doing right here. So that is going to be the win for Lotus. They'll be able to keep their guns, and actually it looks like Umith is going to head over towards those nice rifles pretty much on both sides. The buys actually looking a little bit awkward though.
Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it? There's 2 sheriffs, like you said. A myth does pop those knives. Does go for the mid fight as well. This guy is very, very confident. Long range with those 1 taps. I mean, he has to land the headshot if he wishes to win a fight. But I mean, looking at his aim, not the most unlikely scenario, but there's no engagement straight off the bat. They are very slow outside A, the entire team of Valkyrie.
They're playing complete information denial as well, right? No like any sort of sound cues have not been given off. They're fully 5 stacked towards this A site. Now the sound cues are being given over, but there's 5 people strong ready to entry onto the site.
Oh, but the Jet's still in the dice position. I think he might have whipped his knives. Yeah, the ultimate's already burned. There's no more for Myth. He has a Sheriff to work with, but that's it. Only a pistol, and it gets taken down. Ramen, a beautiful spray transfer up to the Heaven player as well, and a flash going through is gonna maybe deny? No, crits. He dodges the flash and is able to take out the spike carrier, but a trade in return. Cappy gets one, but Otter gets a wall bang into one of his teammates from that dart. Still a 2 versus 2. Sheriff in hands for Clazy, but the shots are missed. Has to drop back for just the time being. It's all slow all over again. 30 seconds for the spike to go down, and there's cover from Heaven. The thing is, can Sova win the fight? He can against the main player. That's a player with a rifle as well. Otter still has the weapon, is able to challenge on a Cappy with a fair fight, but Cappy looks the wrong way at the wrong time, and Otter has the perfect timing on the sky on the site. A second round for the defenders.
And that was great. I'm surprised Ahmed there was able to actually survive on site for so long, doing some pretty good damage as well, able to take 1 kill with him, considering he was in probably the worst spot possible, and actually evens up the round count as well. It is going to be a buy for Lotus here, as they'll be able to buy up towards those rifles and actually pushes Valkyrie back towards that save. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to remember the names when they don't have the tags, but yeah, it's going to be that full buy for Lotus here. Still just going to play those long range angles, and it seems like it's back towards just a full beast site rush for Valkyrie here.
I mean, this is surely going to be difficult. They have 1 Sova ult to work with, and the pings coming out. Spots 2 from the defense. And they're still waiting on here, and the defense doesn't know that there's 5 people outside this B main just yet. They aren't hunting for any info outside A, nothing outside Cat, but that's a very clean headshot from Clazy. Oh, he's just going, he's just peeking, and they're challenging him. They lose every fight. Clazy gets a triple kill.
Oh man,
You can't,
look at how aggressive they're being. They just want everything. They want these frags. They're pushing up all the way in. He's able to get 1, gets traded out. Amith able to clean it up, man, and just pretty much no respect there given by Lotus. You don't expect a Cypher to ever actually peek towards A main here this aggressive, because if the Cypher dies, that's pretty much a free B site. Double dipping here as well, able to get the 2nd and a 3rd in the end, which is beautiful.
He's actually running for that 2nd shot too. He's retreating. It's a fadeaway. Like, that's the stuff that you love to see if you're a Valorant player, but if you're anyone that came from CS, you're gonna hate it. You're like, why is it even possible? But this guy, I mean, Clazy, he's mastered that kind of movement, right? There are people that have played this game for so long, they are so used to this kind of, I guess some people would call it crap, but it works. If you have to adapt against it, and if you don't, that's exactly what happens. And this time, they're going straight in. They're not waiting, and even a ping on the site. Otter is going to go down off of that, and Cappy even takes out the player that was holding down all along. Clazy not going to have the success that he found last round, and it's a plant already at 1 minute 14.
Yeah, 2 people left for Lotus as well. They do have the Sky Ultimate if they want to try and go for this, but considering they're going so slow and with 2 against 5, it's really just rather advised you go for the save. Probably looking to take some exits here as they exit through B main on the side of Valkyrie, but yeah, Valkyrie holding strong. It's just going to be both teams waiting for each other to peek into each other.
Yeah, man, I mean, these 2 rounds back-to-back have literally just been ego fights, right? The first round, the Cypher is holding down that B main against pistols. I mean, he understands very well read that the opponents do not have the favorable weaponry. He can take the fights and probably win every single one, which he ended up doing. This round, it's quite the same, but it's the attack that wants to push the engages, and it works again. Devin cleans up with a triple kill, takes both the guns away from the side of Lotus. Now, the buy isn't exactly completely broken. They're going to have rifles, but maybe not the ideal scenario for them in that round.
Amith is buying up the operator as well, so probably wanting to get those early picks. With Valkyrie only really peeking B main and A main, it feels also like Lotus don't have to put as much pressure towards mid, rather just, you know, leave a camera, maybe some trips to watch it, and stack A main, B main, get the fights there early, because if it goes Lotus's way, it's just a free round for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing they have in that mid is a tripwire, and this ping, oh, that got at least 2. They try to spray through with a phantom, but that's not exactly how that gun works. And the knives going over the wall. Otter is so very low, but this Hunter's Fury is going to miss its mark for the first one, but the Sova is on his drone. He doesn't know. He doesn't manage to dodge. The Sova is still very, very low on HP at the back of the spawn, but at least the attack has gone onto the site for a 1-for-1 trade. Both of them on the site actually going down. A Myth goes down on the operator shot, crits with a spray down on Devin, and manages to get it as well, but it's still a 2 versus 3. The attack has gotten the spike down. This retake, slow goings, crits very low on health. No heals available for him because he's the one with the vegetables in hand and not going to be feeding those to himself. Pull and a knock. Maybe to stun, but everyone is on the site for the attack. Flash is going through. They want to make their way through, but this smoke going on the stairs is so oppressive. They can't manage to walk into it. Crazy is inside of it right now, but Roy has the perfect timing on the Omen after that spray, but now it's a 1 versus 2 after he gets taken down. A very low chance for crits. 20 HP. And both the attackers are already retreated from the site. He's not even going to be able to survive.
Yeah, just the absolute utility dump on the B site. You can see just this recon dart going out, all the smokes all over the site, the Hunter's Fury as well. This was an absolute chaos of a site. It does go over in Valkyrie's way, and I feel like we've gone through, what, 7 rounds so far? It feels like 6 of them have pretty much been just straight up B pushes, or at least planting on the B site. So maybe need to stack it a little bit more from the side of Lotus. Is, you know, a Cypher and a Sova might not be all you need in order to prevent against that 5-man push. Although Valkyrie, with their upgraded weaponry, seem to just be kind of baiting this B site here now. You see the dog going through, trying to create some pressure, and you can see the rotates as this guy actually runs away from catwalk towards that B site. The rest of the team, though, they're heading over towards A. It's fake that's pretty much been sold, although now looks like Lotus are realizing maybe they shouldn't rotate.
I can't believe that worked so well. They even sit so far back as to not get caught by the default Sova dart that the defense throws every single round. And now, well, they've made their way in. The Sky has a shotgun. Crits is not going to have very much to say unless they come to close the door, and they end up doing that. But what? Oh no, can't believe it. He gets at least one, but instantly traded. Maybe he should have gotten some more, but Roy, surely he's dead here as well. Wall bang after the ping. And the door ends up being open, but there's only pistols to work with. 1 shotgun on Clazy for this defense, for this retake. And there's a dart, maybe some information gained, but nothing so. Clazy's not going to be able to get any of those wall bangs from the heaven position. And Ramen even cleans up. Wait a minute! That's 2 for 1! I mean, I guess it's all you can ask for, but still a 5th round for Valkyrie.
Hey, I mean, ever since the Bucky got nerfed pretty much into oblivion, I'd say you take that collat Bucky kill any day of the week. Unfortunately, this retake, not necessarily the best. You know, just the weaponry, I think, wasn't there. The utility, as not much was invested into the round from Lotus there. They will be on their full buy here next. Full rifles on both sides. Ultimates on the board as well, namely the Hunter's Fury and the Astral Wall. Both of them could be really big in terms of either taking a site or defending against it. 5-man seems to be that sort of push towards A here, and Sky, if it gets caught out with this dog, could be in a little bit of a bad spot. Astra's left on the site though on this generator, has pretty much no help except for this crossfire that's been smoked off.
Oh, but crits, there's a gap in that smoke and he peeks over it, but it's already too late. There's only one. Oh, wait a minute. A minute. He drops the spike. The door is being closed, but he shoots through the smoke and gets 2. That's absolutely unreal. Well, 3 versus 2. Coming back in, Clazy catches the A-main player off inside of heaven, and even the spray down, Cappy walks straight into it.
Clazy is probably the most confident Cypher I've ever seen. Just absolutely dry peeking the enemy team. Doesn't even have his teammates anywhere nearby, but just has the confidence to know that he's going to be able to get these shots off. Look at this peek. Able to peek out. No utility spent. Just peek. Hey, get 1 A-main, get 2 a generator, win the round for your team.
He actually just comes out free-firing as well. It's crazy. He just body shots them to death. I mean, if it works, it works. I mean, this guy is 8-6 right now on a Cypher, no less. And like you said, that's a risk that this guy has to take, right? If he dies, it's not like launch Cypher where it's completely broken. Your stuff goes down. There is no more utility, no value for you after your death. So he's going to stay alive, go back in the market. The smoke's going to come out, and Devin, oh my god, the dash even works out. Otter can't adjust in time, and Clazy even tries to peek out, help his teammate, but the trade isn't there. A Myth now at the backup site, alone against 5. He gets the first Barbados save, or trades. Now a 2 versus 4. Fritz has actually made his way all the way onto the switch position. maybe they won't expect this, but the flash going through is good enough to keep him at bay for just the time being. Head spotted, but he even knows that both these utilities are on the lane position, and even a wall bang coming onto him because the information was gained from the other team as well. Shots going through and a dink on a Devon, but it doesn't matter. Triple kill for the Jet on the attack, able to entry onto that B site and take the 6th round for Valkyrie.
Yeah, just absolutely great. The dash through the smoke, able to find one onto Otter, and once the entry is successful, everyone from Valkyrie pretty much just floods the site, able to get the spike down and play that post plant beautifully. 4 to 6 in this game. There are so many ultimates on the board here, Anton. 8 out of 10 in the entire server. All of these could be used in a retake, in a take in and of itself. But there's an operator bot up by a myth. He's probably going to be looking down B main, shoot the dog, and maybe might convince Valkyrie to go to another site.
I mean, here we go. Oh my god, that's unreal. He gets a second one as well on the Kazi. That was the one chance, right? Lotus hasn't had the op in sight of the push for this long, and they finally get it. And Otter is the one to get 2. The op finds nothing, and they trade their way on site anyways. That's actually ridiculous. Shotgun's not going to have any impact coming through this market position, and Robin even switching weapons to get that final frag. The last 2 cleaned up 7 to 4, 1 round remaining, and Valkyrie have already taken their lead in the first half.
Lotus are just playing so far in front of sight. You see the Jet die here, all the way pretty much peeking into be made. It has to Otter to have some heroics in order to defend against it, able to get 2, but really all you can ask for with the Sova in that position. The rest of the team just a little bit too slow. You know that they push A or B main really hard, and once you get that information, you just gotta be faster on that retake there. So last round of this half, ultimate still on the table, and the buy isn't necessarily looking too good for Lotus. They've sacked the B site so far, but that means A is extremely vulnerable, especially since there's only an Astra and a couple of stars to help her.
I mean, surely they gotta know, right? That little vortex is gonna delay for just a little bit, and Cappy does go down to his counterpart Sky inside of Tree, so at least the entry for the defense, but the door is being closed. The Killjoy lockdown already in place, so the plan is guaranteed. No one's gonna be pushing onto that heaven position. A myth goes over the wall. He goes over the wall, gets 1, and the Hunter Fury goes out late, but it's all just fine. There's only 1 left alive, and it's Fox.
Might be a lineup.
Where is he? There is a lineup, so at least a little bit of time bought, but they have to hunt him. They have to go for this kill. There's another vortex to delay even more, but he knows they're not on the spike just yet. But that wall, he doesn't hear everyone is watching on the other side of the Asshole Divide, and it just works out. Crazy's got that kill, and at least they stop the bleeding on the side of the defense of Lotus.
Yeah, that's why I don't really like sending one person to just play post plant, because everyone can die on the site and then you're kind of just left in those 1vx situations. The post plant isn't going to necessarily buy you enough time. The only time I say it would is maybe a Viper. But in the end, 5 to 7 in this game. Still anyone's game so far here is really just a 2-round differential can be made up in the pistol round in and of itself. A lot of ghosts being bought up, which is interesting because maybe they're going to play those long range angles, maybe a little bit more play towards mid here by Lotus to try and see if they can get more map control rather than just full on pushing a site.
Yeah, that is very curious too. I mean, this is literally half the server of Ghosts, and I think it's interesting to see the debate versus Ghost in Classics, because you have the ridiculous right click potential of the Classic that can one hit basically anyone, and then you've got the Ghost. Longer range, maybe some potential there, but right now, I mean, it's stacked outside A main. There's 2 people going down mid, and a myth isn't even one of the ones with the ghosts, which is curious, but probably why he's going up first. There's a flash going through, maybe to contact him. I don't know if that got any information, but there is definitely some. The myth's gonna go through as soon as the push happens from that A main position, and Cappy even gets 2 with his own ghost. Otter with a trade. Devon needs to have that discipline. Step back inside that vortex, but he goes down anyways. That dash out into another enemy, but Ramen has a trade. Spike gonna get planted. Ghost recovered from Ramen. Still up inside that heaven position, and it's still a 2 versus 2, but health advantage in favor of the defenders. Otter wants to get aggressive, wants to try and catch one of these opponents off guard, because he has his low HP, has to take an unfair fight, and he's got both with his back turned, and it's a perfect timing. Ramen gets on the drone, not able to respond. A quad kill for the Sova on the attack.
Yeah, Otter there with the heroics, able to get the good timing on the 2 people in heaven to really close that one out. But I think that pistol round really shows just how Lotus want to play this game differently. from Valkyrie here. They want to play it a little bit more slowly, get that map control, and be a little bit quieter rather than full on pushing a site. And that can be good if you can get those early picks. But the thing about 5 pushing a site is it's really easy, it's really fast, and it can get you kills in a site. This is a little bit riskier in terms of this lower level play. But if it works out, it's usually just going to be significantly easier to hold those spike sites.
Definitely. So I think this is the one risky thing, right? If they get slowed down, the smoke's gonna go out. So no full send, and the rotation's already come through from the jet inside a tree as well. In return, there's another rotation from a myth trying to get a lurk out onto that A, but he's very, very late to that B main position. The rest of the team's still technically keeping their options open and spending so much utility as a defense right now. Valkyrie's burned a drone, a dog, some flashes to try and get some info, but just like in the first half, information denial from the attack, and finally a myth tries to work his way through that B main.
Yeah. Valkyrie on a save as well. So that's util that they don't have a whole lot of. They can't really afford to just be throwing it out right here. The full rotate towards B main. There is the Killjoy bot, but I don't think there's any mollies, any alarm bots. She's just only on site with Ramen to back her up. So Recon should spot quite a few. And actually, it's going to be an absolute roll.
Oh, that's such a good recon. Like you mentioned, it gets right through those smokes, and those wall hacks allow for 3 kills. But a flash going through Otter, he's going to technically be spotted, but kill is good for him. And at least they keep 2 alive. Lotus win the round, tie up the scoreline on a sense.
Yeah, but that was expensive for Lotus there. They were in the driver's seat. They had the gunpowder. They had the superior utility, especially since so much was burned early in the round by Valkyrie. But still, that recon dart, the hero of the round, able to get the wall hacks and the spray through the smoke, felt like Lotus had no idea what was happening. And they get punished for it. 3 guns down means their buy isn't as healthy in this round. There's an Odin on Ramen staring down B main, and that's where the Spike and 3 players are heading. That's going to be a lot of chip damage if the shots land.
Oh, here we go as well. I mean, he's hugging the wall, so maybe a bit of a risk because a myth does have a sheriff on the other end of that B main. It'll be spammed perhaps, but the spot's going to come through. He doesn't actually get the tag out because he sends the drone a bit too high. So I'm not going to go for that spam for the time being, and even the attackers wanting to go off of that.
There's no one in mid right now from Valkyrie here. They've pretty much completely left it open, even towards Catwalk. You can see now the Jet rotating over to try and bolster it up just a little bit, but this is a lot of space given over to Lotus. They're looking to take it, push up towards mid, get a main control, and maybe try and hit the A site from multiple different angles.
Yeah, time delay, but there is some information gained. That Flash is going to spot at least one, and Barbados even closing the door, but he's going to get blinded. They're not going to push in just yet, though. Devin gets a kill, and still the delay on this A main position, and they stay alive for so long. Kathy's still on the site, able to get one after 2 trades, but he's going to go down at the end of the day, and a myth, even with a lurk, gets taken out after his kill inside a mid, and a 1 versus 2 from Fox. Fox has to go back in. He has to decide where he wants to go as well. Makes the decision to go through tree, and there is one player, Crits, perhaps ready for this. He's inside this position. The audio is heard. Fox wins one fight, and the peak even comes out. Fox has to reload and doesn't get it off in time. Crits chases him down, wins the 8th for the side of Lotus.
Yeah, that was the bonus round as well, so that was massive. You do so much econ damage. You hit this A site from multiple different angles, and that means the crossfires, the utility was just too much for Valkyrie there. Not able to hold that A site, giving away the gun, so the economy is healthy for Lotus as well, and it pushes Valkyrie towards that save. A Bucky in the hands of Fox. Fox playing towards this Logs position, and actually I feel like Logs is one of the better positions to play there. It can catch a lot of people off guard since it's a really awkward angle to check, and with all the utility stacked up towards Speedway here, they're going to be so distracted by trying to shoot all of that utility that Fox might be able to get a couple if a B main pushes on the cards.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that is a pretty selfish position and utility usage from that Killjoy, but if it works, it works, right? He's able to get at least one. And with this shotgun as well, where do they have to run from the attack? They have to go into this corner. So
Myth just getting taken out there by Ramen with a nice headshot. It's a gun given over as well. If Ramen can walk all the way up, Crits popping the Sky ulti as well, evening up the numbers just a little bit. But Spike is down in this B main, or Spike is there. What? Fox? Okay, Fox goes down, just runs knife out into the enemy team. That's so many people on this B site so far, and with one actually lurking, the Asher towards mid can catch out Devin. Yes, he does. 2 versus 4 in this retake, make it a 4 versus 1, and with Cappy only the sheriff in hand, is able to get one. All the attackers are split. Actually, might be able to isolate the 1v1s, but no, Otter shutting her down, and attackers winning that next round with that superior firepower. 9-7 for Lotus going into this next round.
Slight apologies, internet difficulties, but we're back. And speaking of back is not what Valkyrie is, because they still have not managed to get one on this half so far. I mean, I can definitely see why they wanted to attack first in each of these maps, because so far, at least on Ascent, their defense has not proven very strong. Lotus is absolutely rolling them right now with their offensive capabilities, with their slow play. Like I mentioned before, it's a very, very different showing from the team of Lotus on their attack than Valkyrie wants to do, just full rushes every single time from the current defensive team. But now it's this information game, and Devin at least gets a pick. That's the first time we've seen an operator having impact on this half, but Amit is already in through into tree, and he gets one, punishes the op, and Cappy, the only one left defending, gets 2 headshots. Very, very nice hold so far, but the walk is going to go out. Cappy's going to catch Classy off on that reload, and only 27 HP, which means he's going to die to 1 bullet, but there's only 1 enemy left for this attack, and Cappy gets every single one. Quad kill with that A-site lockdown, gets their first round for the side of Valkyrie.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect a Sky to be the anchor on a site, able to just get so many kills and actually get that site locked down. But the trades just weren't there. Cappy able to isolate the angles, isolate the 1v1s, and really just save his team from absolute destruction there. This is a beautiful shot by Devin as well on that operator. You take away that Astra, means that there's no real smokes for the attacking side to prevent any of those sight lines. So great by him. 9-8 looks like Valkyrie still have some life in them. They want to make sure this doesn't roll too far in the name of Lotus, and still a full buy from both sides. Devin back on that operator, though playing a little bit more passive of an angle this time.
Oh, a myth. It's a bit of a risk getting tagged by that dart. Armin's going to try for some sprays, but it's already pushed past the smoke. Goes back into it and peeks out the other side. Tries to get some information in mid. He's going to get maybe darted by that other drone as well, but he's going to get away. Rest of his teammates trying to work in through that B after posturing towards that A main position, but it's still very, very quiet, trying to draw out where they think this operator is. And Devin, he misses a shot. That was a very big opportunity that's now no longer in play for the defensive jet.
Devin chunked low as well, and I think that also drew some rotates over from Valkyrie here. Ramen, though, might be able to catch out Otter since he's pretty much alone towards tiles, opts to play that more passive angle. Now is a 4-man push onto the A site.
Oh, big delay, big flash. Everyone in that A main is blind, and even one goes down. Hunter Sphere to try and take out the Heaven player, but it misses every single shot. So Cappy is still here, the savior of the previous round. The dog doesn't manage to stun, but the knives try and go over the wall, and even he gets taken out though, and the knives miss. Chris,
what?
2 great headshots onto the players coming from Heaven, and Fox can't do anything with that garden positioning. 10-8 now.
Man, the skies in this game have just been absolutely massive with this fragging potential. And Cappy there, or not Cappy, sorry, Crits there, able to get 1, able to get 2 on this site. As you can see here, just plays the angle so well, and I feel like a little bit of a whiff from Devin in addition means that it goes to that 10-8 scoreline. The buy isn't looking good for Valkyrie. Going to really half buy into this round, play into the next, but Lotus are on 10. They could easily get 11 here, especially with the ultimates on the table for them.
Yeah, man, I mean, the only thing that Valkyrie really have to work for them is that hero rifle on Cappy, and he's done so much for the team so far. He's the top frag on the server, on the sky, mind you, and it's not, I don't know if that's what you like to see or not, but whatever the case, he's the one to be doing the work. Clazy's going to take out one of his teammates, and everyone on the attack is just running in. I mean, no shame, right? They know that pistols are the only thing that is able to be on the defense, and Amit straight on through, just run and gun. Ramen has no chance.
Yeah, Otter going to peek here towards seats. He catch out the sky maybe if the shots can land, but no, Cappy, the superior aim, able to take out 1. That's a pretty big pick. Evens up the numbers just a little bit. Maybe gives some hope in the eyes of of Valkyrie here. They still have a lot to clear out, though.
This mid lurk, they even go past. Barbados is unaware, and even the flash, it's absolutely perfect. Cappy goes down, can't shoot anything if you're blind, and that's what Crits needs to take out the last two, but 11-8, only one round away from match point. Go Lotus.
Yeah, Lotus are really abusing the fact that Valkyrie don't like to play towards mid. I believe they only stash around one player just to watch catwalk and mid, which really isn't enough considering Lotus have went past them like at least 4 times just in this half alone. They really need to put some more pressure towards it, make sure that each site isn't being hit by multiple angles, or at least fighting over it and maybe get an advantage early rather than just bleeding map control and possibly just giving over the sites.
Well, here we go again, right? Operator in play. That's a very, very wide off angle, and he misses again. That's absolutely disastrous. Now they're just going to go right in off that because he was the main line of defense, and Amit is going to go right on top, misses the jump, but he's completely blind. Devin doesn't have anything to say about the sight take, and even Cappy up in heaven, they try to shoot through, but the wall goes up before they even can get the kill on him. But now delay, maybe some flashes through. The dog gonna go first. Otter's not gonna even get bitten by that one. And the lockdown for the defense. What is this awkward positioning? Ramen is still here. Hold on a second. They finally trade him out. Not entirely sure what happened there, but all of a sudden it's just Cappy left alive. Can he get 3 again? That's the question. Goes for that tap. They have to start peeking him, but he looks away at the wrong time, and Roy gets the kill. Match point for Lotus.
So many ultimates blown in that round as well. You saw the Astro Wall from the attacking side, the Killjoy lockdown, all of it to try and get some control over this site. In the end, it does go up for Lotus. They're able to successfully push into that tree room, get the Killjoy lockdown, and then play the 2v1 in the end because Cappy had to just watch too many angles. Where on match point, Lotus looking to take this next round, and they have the guns to do it with Crazy Roy on that operator, rifles for everyone else in the buy, not looking too healthy for the side of Valkyrie here. There are ultimates, the Hunter's Fury and the Jellyfish, available to try and help them out just a little bit. That's a lot of space that they might have not the guns for in sort of a retake situation.
And the problem being, they've been in a lot of retake situations. I mean, not once have they won this round, or won a round in this. I mean, they've only won 1 round in this half, but I mean, even still, not once has that round been a timeout. Site's always been taken every single time. Every kill been had. Ooh, that's a interesting timing. Otter is lucky to be alive.
Devin. Timing. Oh, but Umith gets it. Able to get the jet. That's mid control. Pretty much being taken. Omen Ramen, though, able to shut down one. Looks like it's not going to stop Lotus, though. They're just running in completely. 2 people on this B site. Maybe that Cypher ultimate makes them think, hey, A site is free. There's only one person, and she's stuck CT.
Oh, but that one person, though, is Cappy, and as I say that, maybe I cursed him a little bit, because he gets instantly removed by crits. Now they understand that A site is completely free. Spike gonna go rotate right off the bat, and even just to make sure, put that trip down, just in case. You never know what might go wrong, but even the cam going up, everything's completely locked down, and it's the attacking Sky in the form of crits just to hold this rotation. Surely they don't expect him, right? The first one goes through, and the reload, even Chris is out of ammo, has to go back. Can't even blame him for that one. Now it's a 1 versus 3, but even I mean, he's got no bullets. The gun was picked up by Barbados, but the reload still has to go through from one player or the other. And this is suck for just dying a little bit to delay the information. Otter, oh my god, even the trip pays off. Glazzy's back to clean up this kill. 13-8, map 1 goes to Lotus.
I think you could really see, especially towards those last rounds, just how much the strat book for Lotus is very much alive. They took mid control so often, and it really led to the defeat of Valkyrie there. Since Valkyrie was just, they weren't playing, very active. They were just playing reactionary, playing on the sites rather than trying to hold mid. And since that mid control was taken, the rotates were cut off as well. Each site was isolated. And really, Valkyrie just ended up not closing it out. This is only map 1 of our best of 3, though, Anton. So there's still a lot of Valorant to be played.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have to see whether or not Valkyrie can decide to come back in the last 2 maps, because, again, none of these are Valkyrie's map picks because of the situation. They had a sub come in, and it was so last minute that they forfeited all their map picks. But it's just, this is what we got to do. So Lotus definitely has the upper hand coming to the series, and even in map number 1, it's pretty clear why Valkyrie's chosen attack for every single maps so far in this series, and I'm hoping that maybe we'll get to see something different. But if they're relying on this just rush A, rush B kind of playstyle from every single map just because they do have that sub, I struggle to see how they're going to take this back, but we'll have to find out after this quick break. We're going to send you guys on a little one. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back for map number 2.